When Sarah looked at me that evening, her expression carried a mix of defiance and an odd calm that made my stomach drop. I had asked a simple question: why she was dressed up, where she was going. She sighed like I'd become an annoyance and snapped, "It's just dinner with my ex, Daniel. Stop being jealous." The word landed like a cut. Jealous? That didn't fit. It was betrayal wrapped in a casual excuse. We'd been married 8 years. Trust was supposed to be our cornerstone. I thought of our vows, the life we built, the sacrifices I'd made to keep things steady. And now she told me, offhand, that she was spending the evening with a man she once loved. I wanted to take her at her word, but her tone offered no reassurance. She brushed past me as if I were invisible. That alone spoke louder than anything she said. The night stretched long. I sat in the living room, watching the TV on mute, every tiny outside noise making my heart jump. A car door, tires screeching, footsteps on the pavement. I waited for her to come home. Around midnight she returned. Her perfume lingered in the air a long time after she passed. Her lipstick was faintly smudged. She avoided meeting my eyes and mumbled something about being tired. I didn't press her. I nodded on the surface, but inside I was a riot. "Stop being jealous" echoed in my head. This wasn't jealousy. It was a matter of respect. She'd trampled it, treated it like an inconvenience blocking her freedom. I decided then that things had to change. The next morning she overslept and rushed through her routine for work. She grabbed her bag, pecked my cheek out of habit, and hurried to the front door. When she tried her key, it wouldn't turn. Again and again she jabbed at the lock, confusion shifting into alarm. I stood behind her, composed and steady. She looked back at me, panic widening her eyes. "Why isn't this working? Did something happen?" My voice was calm but hard. "Yes, Sarah. Something happened last night." She froze. The words sank in. She tried the key with desperate force, as if brute force could undo a decision. Her hands shook. Finally she faced me fully. "Ethan, what is this? What did you do?" I let out a measured breath. "I changed the locks. You left this house yesterday as my wife, but you came back as someone I don't recognize. This wasn't only about dinner with an ex. It was about the trust you broke with 4 careless words." Disbelief filled her face. "You can't be serious. You're blowing this out of proportion. It was just dinner, nothing else. You're overreacting." That accusation burned. I had spent the entire night turning over her behavior, and now she dismissed my pain as an overreaction. "If you respected me, if you respected our marriage, you wouldn't have gone in the first place," I said. "Do you think any committed spouse would calmly meet their ex while their partner stayed home wondering if they were still enough?" Silence hung between us. Her lips trembled. No answer came at first. She finally lowered her gaze and whispered, "Ethan, I didn't mean to hurt you." Her voice cracked as she admitted, "I just wanted to feel alive again. Something thrilling." That truth cut deeper than any lie could. So it was never about dinner. It was about chasing the rush of what wasn't hers anymore, leaving me drowning in doubt and humiliation. "You wanted excitement," I said evenly. "Here it is. The rush of not knowing where you stand. The thrill of realizing the man who carried this marriage on his back is no longer your safety net." Her eyes went wide. Tears slipped down her cheeks. She reached for me, but I stepped away. Anger melted into desperation. "Please, Ethan, don't do this. I made a mistake, but it's not what you think. I still love you." I looked at her, but all I saw was a woman who had gambled with my trust and lost. Her words hung in the air, fragile, already breaking. "I still love you," she repeated. But it sounded like begging, not truth. I shook my head slowly. My chest ached, but my mind was clear. Love isn't this, Sarah. Love doesn't hide behind excuses or chase old flames. Real love protects. It doesn't gamble. Her strength crumbled. She sank to her knees, clutching her handbag like it could tether her to reality. I stood still, watching the woman I built a life with collapse on the same doorstep where she once stood glowing in white, promising forever. The irony hit sharp. I turned toward the kitchen as her sobs filled the hall. A part of me wanted to gather her up, wipe the slate clean. But the part of me that had stayed awake all night, the wiser part, knew forgiveness handed out so easily would only breed more betrayal. She needed to bear the weight of her choices. "Where am I supposed to go?" she whispered through tears. I paused, back to her. "Maybe the same place you went last night. I'm sure Daniel will open the door." My voice carried a bitterness I didn't admire, but it was honest. Her sobs grew harsher. "It wasn't like that. Please, Ethan, don't throw us away." I turned to her then, meeting her pleading eyes with calm resolve. "I didn't throw us away, Sarah. You did, when you brushed me off as jealous. When you called me overreacting. When you chose another man's company over the one who stood beside you all these years. That's when you made your choice. I'm only living with the result." The silence that followed felt final. She rose slowly, her face streaked with mascara and regret. For the first time, she looked small, not because I had diminished her, but because her own actions had stripped away the dignity she once wore. She walked down the driveway clutching her bag like it was all she had left. And I didn't feel victorious. I felt something sharper. Something cleaner.